My name is Jeff Cross. I'm the media director with ISSA. I'm at the Tork booth. The show's going great. I'm with Raquel Carbonari. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you for coming and visiting us.
So, what is it you do exactly?
So, I am the brand activation director for Tork in North America, and my team is tasked with activating the Tork brand strategy in the United States and in Canada.
Talk about the inclusive hygiene and how Tork is helping facilities implement it in their restrooms. And can you explain what inclusive hygiene really means?
Sure. So inclusive hygiene is about delivering better hygiene outcomes in different facilities. What we're trying to do is raise awareness of the fact that 54% of individuals face barriers to hygiene, either because they face a cognitive or physical challenge that limits how well they can use a restroom. So we want to raise awareness, develop tools and solutions and expertise so that the industry can drive for better hygiene in the busiest place in a facility, which is oftentimes the restroom.
I've noticed your branding in a few restrooms here.
That is true. So again, we're trying to raise awareness for the need for better hygiene solutions in the restroom. What oftentimes happens is that people who own, operate, and manage public restrooms are unaware that the people that they're trying to serve, the space doesn't meet their needs. They might feel anxious in the space, maybe the lighting is off, maybe the hygiene level of hygiene that they're delivering is not what their expectations are for the type of facility. So we're trying to raise awareness, educate the industry, and providing with tools and information how to solve for those barriers.
I saw something about the Tork Coalition for Inclusive Hygiene and a playbook.
That is correct.
What is that all about?
Absolutely. So this is a journey. So Tork has been committed to delivering hygiene solutions that help address the hygiene needs of a broad array of individuals. It's been part of our DNA, something that we have been committed for many, many years. In fact, we recently received the world's first Design for All certification for our dispenser development process. So that's a huge achievement and something that proves of how committed we have been. But to accelerate that work, we compiled a coalition of experts to help us identify the barriers that people are facing in public restrooms. These individuals are members from academia, individuals from public policy, design experts, people in industry that are helping us identify these challenges and, more importantly, raise awareness and provide practical solutions for facility managers to execute. So the coalition's first task was to help us develop the playbook. It's a practical guide, it's a free resource that facility managers and BSCs can access to learn how they can drive inclusive hygiene in their facility.
Something else I heard about is the ethnographic
and
the research. Is there more about that you can share? What is that going to do for the industry?
Absolutely. So this is a journey. So we needed to start with understanding the different types of public restrooms that our and customers are trying to manage and operate. So we conducted research in over 20 cities, 65 hours of interviews with facility managers, restroom users, cleaners, to understand what is the state of these public restrooms. What are the challenges people are facing? What are the barriers? Again, the user and the cleaner. And from there, work with our design agency and come up with practical tips how to help solve for it. But again, everything has to be rooted in data and in information to really provide the right solutions to our end customers.
We're going to talk to one of your colleagues and come back to you in a few minutes.
Perfect.
And now I'm with Jen Ashman. It's our first interview together. Yeah. Tell us about yourself, what you do, your little background.
I appreciate that. So I'm head of Envisioning and Partner at Other Tomorrows, a design agency. And what we do is we really focus on getting curious about people, really learning about what motivates them, what's their why do they do these behaviors versus those different types of actions, how do we get to their mindset. And that allows us to get really foundationally deep on what matters meaningfully to people so that we can design irresistible futures that compel them to want to take part, especially when businesses are trying to make change happen.
Let's talk about that. The work you do in Tork, how does that all come together with the inclusive hygiene mission?
Well, we started with research. We went out into the field last summer and spoke with over 32 different individuals across North America, from Boston to Phoenix to Toronto in Canada. And we learned a pretty dirty truth, that bathrooms aren't designed to meet everybody's individual needs, even today.
Dirty truth. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. I agree. It has to be inclusive for everybody. So can you talk to us through what you discovered in the research process? Because you did some traveling,
Yeah.
visited some people, and talked about restrooms across America.
Yes.
Talk about that.
So we went into people's homes for an hour and a half, over 32 different homes across North America. We also followed them on sort of a safari out into public restrooms. And we went and experienced what these places are like with them. So I'll give you an example of Patrick, who was a retired veteran. He loves to antique. He jams out to music. He loves the Beatles, record collection that thick. And he's just kind of living life as much as he can, but he also struggles with 32 different disorders, from COPD to PTSD to anxiety. And those are all, a range of kind of hidden different disorders that he doesn't have the ability to show when he steps into a bathroom. And so when we found, after walking to a restroom with him, is that he struggled to even enter the space. It's overwhelming, it's overstimulating, it's a scary kind of loud space for him, which has narrowed his world, right? He doesn't go out to those antique stores anymore. He doesn't go out to the baseball games that he follows by heart. And so that learning has really kind of been built across multiple people with different subject matter experts in hygiene and disability, in other conditions like periuresis. And we combine all of that data, all of that sense behavior and understanding of what motivates people to do what they do into 3 distinct design principles, which I'm super excited to talk about.
Right, let's talk about that, because all of this is coming to mean a result for everybody.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
So part of what makes results actually actionable and tangible is that we bring in the people who are going to be using them. So we spoke with facility managers about 3 different unique design principles that can be actionable steps forward in creating inclusive hygiene. First, creating a clean and safe environment sounds very foundational, but without that, people don't believe that they can go into a space not on guard. They have to use toilet paper as a shield. They have to use paper towels as a shield on the doorknob. They feel like they can't escape.
We've all been there.
Yeah, I know I have. And so when you think about creating that foundation, you can then get yourself to the next level almost of inclusive hygiene, which is about creating a comfortable, welcoming, and calming space. And when we spoke with facility managers about those nuances, this is everything down to the warmth of the lighting, to the way a material might feel warmer, less cool, to the way a full privacy door from like top to bottom can make a space feel like it's your own, and you can lock out the world and actually do what you need to do.
So this story that you're telling us, and this individual, Patrick, you talked to him personally.
Yeah.
How did you feel talking to him?
A lot of these stories, they put a little grip around your heart. And as somebody who also struggles to want to touch surfaces, just because I would like to live a couple more years, I could relate. It's sort of a heart speaking to a heart. So after that interview, we said goodbye, the team and I, but we had a pretty deep conversation about what can actually make a meaningfully different experience for this individual. How can we get him back out into his life?
So from what we've talked about so far and that experience, this then went to the facilities. Talk about their reaction and what they plan to do with all of this.
So the facility manager reaction was really interesting to take in. They would look at the playbook, we walk them through it, and part of what they discovered is that there's a real human story behind these audiences that they're serving, from the venues of concert halls to schools, right? And it was fascinating to discover that they didn't always know that everybody with an invisible hidden barrier has struggles when they go through that space. And so we heard facility managers react with, I didn't realize this. I didn't know that my students might need more support getting through a space to open the door or to know a door is locked. And other facility managers at concert venues say, I had no idea that this audience that goes to, you name it, Alanis Morissette concerts, can't use this bathroom, and therefore I'm losing out on my venue sales because they're not going to drink or eat while they're here. So there's a positive reception and sort of an awareness building of who's actually using the space and why.
So the advice that I will give our end customers, facility managers, BSCs, is to consider the restroom as a place of opportunity, not of a place of maintenance or just cost. It's an extension of your brand. It has a direct impact on business performance depending on the type of facility that you operate. As we have seen in other data, 38% of people might limit how much they eat or drink so that they don't have to use the public restroom. Jen shared a fantastic example with Patrick, but also employees might submit complaints. 45% of complaints in an office facility are related to the restroom. So again, they slow down the facility manager, they slow down operations. So what if we can cut those complaints to 20%, 50%? So again, I urge people to think about the restroom as an extension of their facility, as a key contributor to whatever business that facility is supporting. So it's a place of opportunity rather of cost and maintenance.
And from a design perspective, I think part of what you're hitting on so beautifully, Raquel, is that there's a vast array of individuals out there who use the restroom not just as a place of relief, but also as a place for transformation, for mental space and oasis, for a place to kind of find and come back to themselves. And so when they see this promise of what they expect in their minds actually played out through these different design principles and actionable steps, then you're delivering upon an invisible audience that you may not even know exists out there in the world. So it's the nuances, it's design in the details. And sometimes even those small steps, positioning a trash can by the door, moving paper products out into space so that you don't have the whirl of the wind of an air dryer, those all can help people feel a little bit calmer, even in the small little steps.
So we wanted to make this resource available for all of you. So this is a free resource, and you can visit our torkglobal.com website where you can access it. You can also learn about the stories of the individuals that motivated this research, and also hear testimonials from facility managers and how this new tools and the testimonials of users change their perspective about how they can drive business performance and better serve the community that they want to serve every day.
Mm-hmm.